Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, but we're going to talk about all the shakeups in technology and digital media, and not even Google is immune. Apparently, Google is threatening their workers with layoffs if they don't shape up. They're going to get fired. Gotta do your job, gotta bring in money or you get canned. Doesn't matter how big your company is. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to see a lot of layoffs in tech, in digital media. And this poor guy here, this is the crying CEO. He put a selfie on LinkedIn after laying off a bunch of employees. It's gone viral. I guess he runs a marketing agency, Hypersocial. And he's like, this will be the most vulnerable thing I ever share. I've gone back and forth whether to post this or not. We just had to lay off a few of our employees. I've seen a lot of layoffs over the past few weeks on LinkedIn. Most of those are due to the economy or whatever other reason. Ours, my fault. My fault. Yeah, it's going to be bad. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of people who are going to get laid off. We've been talking about this, that digital media is in trouble. Big trouble. We're going to talk a little bit about Axios too. They had to sell themselves off, and I think we're going to see the implosion of some sites like BuzzFeed and Vice and so many others because the ad revenue is running out. The venture capital is running out, and there's going to be a whole lot of crying pretty soon. And yeah. Anyway, but hey, we're not in a recession. We're not in a recession, guys. It's all imaginary. It's all in your head. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 274,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Also, if you want to check out our digital media, go out to clownfishtv.com. We're going to be ramping up content over there. It's basically stuff that we don't have time to cover in videos. We're going to be posting on clownfishtv.com as a sister site, the Pirates and Princesses.net, and so far we haven't had to lay anybody off, but everybody that writes for us is freelance, so there we go. We also don't have the overhead these companies do. So we're going to talk about Google here in a minute, but I just wanted to bring this up real quick about Axios. Again, another big digital media site sold itself to Cox Enterprises for $525 million. So that's like $500 million for Axios, which is actually a pretty sizable site. Remember back in the day being like 2 or 3 years ago when these websites were like, our valuation was billions and billions and billions of dollars. Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. A lot of these websites are losing value daily. Axios actually is one of the few that probably has some value. So I'd hate to see what the others sell for. And I think they will sell eventually. And it's kind of weird to see legacy media buying digital media because it was supposed to work the other way around. Kind of like how Warner Brothers is talking about movies being released to theaters first versus going to streaming first. But let's talk about Google. So not even Google is immune to this. This is today, the New York Post, founded by Alexander Hamilton, by the way. As they like to point out, Google executives threaten workers with layoffs. There will be blood on the streets. Wow. Google execs are telling their employees to shape up or ship out, warning that layoffs are coming if results don't meet expectations. Imagine that. We have gotten to a point where tech companies are going to have to produce results. We've seen the parody, right? The joke about all these startup tech companies just burning money, burning venture capital, and it's all ending. The day of reckoning is here. Winter is coming. Employees who work in the Google Cloud sales department said that senior leadership told them there will be an overall examination of sales productivity and productivity in general. Sounds very familiar. Facebook is kind of doing the same thing. Twitter is doing the same thing. Pepto-Bismol. I think some of these employees are going to need that. If third quarter results don't look up, then there will be blood on the streets, according to a message conveyed to the sales team. The warning was first reported by Insider. Employees told the news site that they are fearful of layoffs after the company quietly extended its hiring freeze this month without making an announcement. The Post sought comments from Google. Google CEO Sundar Pichai told his employees in an all-hands meeting last month that they needed to improve their focus and productivity due to fierce economic headwinds that have forced widespread belt tightening all throughout the technology sector. We're calling it the fierce economic headwind, but we're not calling it a recession. We're not calling it a recession. He said that he wanted to solicit ideas from his employees on how to get better results faster. We need to make more money or I'm going to get fired. It's clear we're facing a challenging macro environment with more uncertainty ahead. There are real concerns that our productivity as a whole is not where it needs to be for the head count we have. Okay, this translation for the stupid people in the back. This means that Google has too many employees not doing anything, not pulling their own weight. They probably have a bunch of employees who took a job at Google because they're like, hey, cool, they got a food court. Hey, cool, I can bring my dog to work or whatever the hell they let them do. Oh, look, everybody's riding around on a hoverboard and a Segway. We don't really have to work. It's more about the culture. Yeah, you're going to have to effing work. Those days are over. Search engine also announced a 2-week hiring freeze last month. So far, it has not reversed that decision, prompting employees to fear the worst, as you should. Since the CEO's comments, everyone has been talking about the company tightening its belt. Google isn't the only tech company that put employees on blast. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO and founder of Facebook, we've done a video on that, blamed one of the worst downturns we've seen in recent history for a series of cost-cutting measures, including a hiring freeze. There's no recession. What are you talking about? Things are fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine here. Everything's great. Zuckerberg also made it clear the company will part ways with employees who do not perform up to par. Realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at this company who shouldn't be here, said Zuckerberg. And we did a video on that. Look, it's over. The whole joke of Silicon Valley just coasting off of venture capital and Zennials and Millennials showing up, and not doing any real work, kind of like that episode of Family Guy. Yeah, this is the day of reckoning. Facebook's social media rival Twitter rescinded a job offer to some guy as part of the San Francisco-based company's cutting back on hiring. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal informed employees of the hiring pause, citing a recent lag on growth and revenue targets. And of course, they drag Elon Musk into that because I don't know if he's buying it. Is he buying it? Is he not buying it? Anyway, we're going to see a lot of crying CEOs, crying employees. And I think this is a big reason. A lot of these people work in journalism or digital media, right? And we're going to see a lot of this online. We're going to see a lot of this on Twitter. It's already started. A lot of digital journalists getting gone. I guess, some people got gone from Polygon, Kotaku. They're all laying off employees, and they're going to take it out on people who have weathered the storm, people who have actually found a way forward, whether it's YouTube or their own site that has a subscription service. A lot of people are doing pretty well with that. Anyone who's succeeding where they can't, anyone who is self-made and not propped up by venture capital, not propped up by a large corporation, those are going to become targets. And you're going to see a lot of salt. You're going to see a lot of salty tears in the coming months. Again, not delighting in layoffs, but it's not like the writing hasn't been on the wall, for years. Eventually, you got to pay the piper. Eventually, the venture capital is going to run out. Eventually, there's going to be a downturn. And here we are. Here we are, guys. So I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.